Welcome back to episode 19 of the Football Fanatic podcast. I'm your host, Declan O'Connor. With me, as always, Howard Costello and Daniel Coulter. We're 1 week to Christmas and football is getting exciting. Who's going to be top on Christmas Day? Let's see. Lads, how are we getting on?
Good
Good,
deck,
Deck.
as
All
always.
good. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff. Good
I
stuff.
feel I feel especially good
Why
after
do you
after
feel
the weekend
especially good?
results. After the weekend results.
Anyone
Uh,
in particular? Was it City
well,
dropping
it was
points? Was it Liverpool dropping
well.
points? Was it?
You just took the words out of my mouth. Both,
Yeah, and
both.
you were decent as well against Brighton, I
Yeah,
thought.
no, it was like when these things happen, it's like the Aston Villa result for Arsenal, and then City City bet Luton and Liverpool bet who's I can't remember, it was a Sheffield United or whatever, whoever it was, and I was just like, oh, it's like such a turn, like 3 point swing, and you're just like, oh God, and then you just like the next weekend, then it's such a long season, like
Of
so.
course. I read something just before we came on there that the difference between first and third is
Yeah,
likely to be the lowest it has been in like 6 years or something like that. So,
brilliant.
yeah, we'll see. We'll start off though with the weekend, the big game yesterday. I don't know if you'd call it a big game given the result, but Liverpool versus Man United ended up a 0-0 draw. Not the most exciting of games. Dan, disappointed, I'd imagine. What did you think?
Yeah, disappointed. Probably not feeling as bad today as it was yesterday, but it felt more like a loss than a draw yesterday
Hmm.
evening. Considering the amount of the ball that we had, and now we didn't play well by any means, but I still thought we definitely would have done enough on a different day. We would definitely have got a couple of goals. But it was very frustrating. Now, in fairness tonight, I thought Varane and Evans were very good defensively. I thought they were solid. They were kind of like the way they played against Munich. I only watched the Munich game during the week where they were kind of compact, didn't give up too much, but like they were never a threat. And I kind of
Yeah,
there was similar enough against us, albeit they probably had two of the best chances in the game, and could have, especially in that last 10, 15 minutes, potentially could have got a goal. We kind of done what we done recently at home, which is go gung ho, then trying to chase the winner and then leaving a lot of gaps at the back. Like, and there was a period there for about 5 or 6 minutes where we were playing 4-2-4, maybe for about 10 minutes. And it was like Endo and Trent in the middle of the field. And like the second United got out, like there was just gaps everywhere. And then he changed it up again and brought back in, I think, Elliot and Jones. But yeah, and there wasn't any standout Liverpool player I thought that really had a good game, which is probably the way they played. Like there's no real standout players. A lot of them had a poor and sloppy enough game, and
Just
it was, it was
no,
quite
sorry,
good to
sorry
watch.
to interrupt you. Just one or two things. McAllister, is he like he's not been thrown to the wayside or anything like that, but like
He's injured.
is
he's injured. Yeah,
is he injured?
Yeah,
Apologies,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was just wondering, I didn't hear that. Okay,
He
fair
got a, he
enough.
got a cut. He got a cut in his leg from a tackle, and I think it's like infected or something. So it's actually nearly worse than a strain or something because he can't play
Can't
until
play because of it. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well that
So he
answers
he would
that
have
one
started,
first
of
off, yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah. He would have been starting, of course. Endo I thought was
Endo
poor.
is about I was about to ask, yeah, Endo. What do you
Yeah,
make
yeah, he's
of him?
poor. I've seen him a few times in the Europa League, and I know in a few of the games he's got plaudits. But when he stepped up for the Premier League games, I thought he's a very, very average footballer, and he shouldn't be anywhere near the Liverpool side. And it just smells to me like what we done last season, which was got Arthur in. Fair enough, he got injured, but it was like just having another body in there.
That's right, actually. Going back to that one, Arthur from Barcelona. How many out of curiosity, I don't know, but
He
I'm
he
presuming
came
there's
on
very few
once.
games.
Yeah, he came on once as a sub, I think, and then he got injured basically for most of the season. He actually was injured, so he couldn't play. But
Yeah, because that one
whether
just I remember that
yeah,
came and went, yeah.
but anyway, look, yeah, he didn't have a good game. There's no one really that did, but I wouldn't, as I've been saying here for weeks, I think we need a proper six. In there, it'll be interesting to see Thiago's back in training now, so it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
whether or not he might go for his kind of, I suppose, his swan song because he's out of contract in the summer, or whether he give him a
Okay.
few months, maybe playing in the sixth role again. He's not quick, but he might just give him a run in there because Endo for me now is a disaster
he's
waiting to
just a bit
happen.
erratic or something, isn't he? Like
He's
he's a
he
bit like he kind of strikes me as a bit of a liability, like in a tackle even, and kind of even he's not the quickest either. Like
No, he's not. No, and again, like he's playing. And fair enough, he was playing in Germany, and he's the captain of Japan or whatever. But for me anyway, I don't feel it's working out. Klopp waxes lyrical about him. I think he likes him from his time in Germany. I think he knew about him and stuff. But for me, he's not the reason why though we didn't do the business yesterday. Like but he for me hasn't been at the standard that's required. We
Yeah.
want to try and challenge for a league title, but.
Just
United it was a good point for them. I know after the game there was a lot of kind of kind of saying United I think it's a lot of shit really, to be honest with you, like United they just sat in, they didn't come here to try and play football and this kind of stuff, like
Van
but,
Dijk.
are you referencing Van Dijk? Yeah,
Van Dijk, but also just the rhetoric even from Liverpool fans that I know online, like it's just the whole thing was United came in the park bus, but like
I didn't see that though. No, to be honest, I mean, yes, they look. Let's be honest, right? They were going into that game at the weekend with the majority of fans thinking that they're going to get well beaten, and I mean, they defended well. Like they were defending for a lot of the game, and I think they had to, because I mean, if they were coming out of that game with like a heavy loss, I mean, you can read the headlines. You could read the headlines. You knew what they were going to be. Like Ten Hag is literally on the verge. So I mean, from a kind of neutral point of view, I thought they did exactly what they had to do, while also having two or three, I won't say brilliant chances, but they definitely had chances. So I think the idea of them sitting behind the ball and Van Dijk saying there was only one team that wanted to actually win the game, I don't agree with that at all, because they definitely had chances to score. But fair enough, they were for the majority of the game on the back foot, but I think they had to
I think
plan
so.
for that. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had to plan for that.
I think so. Like if they had went there and went like man for man and kind of went gung ho and attacked Liverpool, we would have ripped them apart. Like I think I mentioned here a few times, Liverpool struggled to break teams down that kind of sit in that kind of low block. There's very little space in behind, and we don't. It's kind of like if there's not a moment of magic, we really struggle to break teams down. We've had it now. Crystal Palace had it against Sheffield United. I could list a load of other games when even going back to last year where they struggle and then just don't seem to have a kind of plan B, and they become very predictable. Wait to try and let him shift across in to nobody really, And again, Nunes as well was poor, and he has been for a couple of games now as well. And
hasn't scored in 10 games, I think, is it?
Yeah, like he's and like fair enough. He's had chances in a good few of them that we've documented here as well that he should be scoring. I just thought yesterday in that as well, he was just poor, just decision making, especially when a team is playing, it's sitting in like that. Like just there's no kind of invention. It's kind of really predictable.
Yeah. For me, it struck me that Liverpool played like they weren't playing United. They played like they play a Palace or a Fulham or whatever at Anfield. Like kind of like, we're at Anfield, we'll find a way to win, like kind of thing, relying on, like when Liverpool's in the past, like they would go, like even if the team's sitting in, they would go hell for leather, and it would be constant pressure, the ball would be clear to be constantly coming back, like they didn't seem to have that probably goes into what we were saying last week, if they get complacent, what would happen. So I think there was I think that whole rhetoric coming in of like, oh, United are so bad, what score, they lost 7-0 last year, what's the score going to be? I think that was a big part in the overall mentality that Liverpool went into it with it. And you still have Varane, who's like, a World Cup thing winner, center back. Like things aren't always gonna be, very easy. Like you're still playing United away, like. And one thing I'd say about United after watching them against Arsenal, like one of the reasons why Ten Hag bought Onana was for games like this, big away games, when you just want to suck the life out of the crowd, give the ball to Onana, he's going to pass the ball to the defender, pass it back, chip it over to the fullback. Very, very boring stuff. He did this for about 30 minutes in the Arsenal game, and it was just so boring to watch. And it drains the crowd, though, quietens the crowd. You get a bit of control in it, and then that's what he does, and that's what they did. Their game plan against Liverpool was exactly what they did against Arsenal as well, and it works to a point, and you try and get them chances on the break, like so.
Yeah, my last point on it would just be composure. There was none. Like it very much, you could see they were taking pot shots from 30 yards. I think they lacked a lot of composure. That's just my last thought on it. Yeah,
that's fair enough. And I suppose, Howard, you made a point last week that if Liverpool played the way they had been playing in the last 2-3 weeks, against Man United, and Dan, you are of the opinion that they won't. At Anfield, Liverpool are a different animal. I won't say they played very badly, but they didn't turn it on like we know Liverpool can turn it on. So I'm just wondering, are these performances, and now look, you've got a draw against United, and it's 2 points, and you've been overtaken at the top, like, could they come back to haunt you over the next few months? Like, if this kind of lower level of performance continues, because I mean, you're not hitting the heights that you can, but you're up there. You're definitely obviously in the title race. But I mean, if whatever is going on which you isn't sorted out, like, could that be a sign of that? You're letting the possible title challenge slip away.
I would agree with you, except that City and Arsenal have both been off it as well. So I think that if it was to continue and the other two were to pick up, like Arsenal, I think I don't know about the game yesterday, but like over the last few weeks they haven't been great either, and either of City. So I suppose that's where the table, when you look at it, like Liverpool kind of got away with a couple of them. So I don't think Liverpool will keep getting away with it. So they're going to have to improve. But also then it's like Arsenal and City's level as well. You'd imagine Arsenal haven't played that well yet. Look where they are. I don't think we played, like, I think it was October. This was the last time I thought we played well in the game. It was Forest at home where I thought we actually played quite well. And then City obviously have had a few mixed bag of results, which we know what City are going to do. We don't know what Liverpool are going to do. We know that City will turn it on. We think if we go by the form book. You'd imagine that Arsenal will still be knocking around there. We don't know with this Liverpool side with the new midfield whether or not can they kind of get better. Can they get more fluent? Can they find another way? That's what's bothering me is we're very predictable to know what we're going to do. And then whether or not we need to kind of change it and maybe try the Trent in midfield starting and play Gomez at right back and maybe go with something like that.
Yeah, can I just touch on that Trent and midfield thing? Because I think when Klopp made the substitutions there, it kind of backfired on him a bit in the halfway through the second half, and he wanted to put Trent in midfield. And I realised Trent's an unreal passer and he plays some worldies, but I'm not sure if he is a player that plays midfield. If you're a midfielder, you need to the first thing you need to do is keep possession, play good passes. But he nearly sometimes tries to play the killer pass. And I don't know if that's sustainable for a centre midfielder for 90 minutes. Maybe you put him in there trying to get a killer pass at some stage. But I think sometimes his attributes when he was coming in from a right wing, his crosses were insane, playing full back, like they were just unbelievable. But I just think that move into the midfield, it's different than just being able to play unreal through balls. There's a lot more to that game that you could get caught up on if you think he can play there, if you know what I mean. So like it's just something that I noticed there. They put him in there, and at the very end you could see he was forcing it, and every pass he was playing was like overhit, or he was trying too much of a high risk pass.
There was actually one point, probably towards the end of the game, Salah had the ball and it was Gomez who was overlapping and didn't work out. And had it been Trent, the delivery would have been, it would have been much better. So it is a question mark what to do with Trent at the moment, because his delivery in terms of set pieces, in terms of finding that killer pass, is probably one of the best in the world. But whether to kind of put him in that midfield position on a full-time basis and kind of see any other areas that might be bad at in midfield, like it's a risk,
It's a balance. So again, it's not right. Like you put him into that midfield, but like he obviously isn't that defensive minded. But like who's the protection if you go and put him in there? That's the problem. Or if he had like a party of mice that were sitting and you said Trent, have a free roll there, let him roam around.
He'd do
like
damage.
He would do damage because he's a great striker of the ball, and he had won that one strike at the ball that nearly that was very close. But look, anyway, it was 2 points dropped for me. It was disappointing considering how the result had gone for City the day before, and just taking kind of killed a bit of momentum there. Has kind of killed a bit of it. But no better place to get it back than next Saturday against the Gunners.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2 points dropped, we'll move straight on to Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. This one hurt because the fashion that we conceded the second goal, stupidity really. I thought we played well, and people are actually just our last six results: draw, loss, win, draw. I mean, that's not good. I don't know if it's a crisis, but I mean, it's not good. And I mean, you can point to so many different reasons to why it might be. It's not that we're playing awful. We're not, but we're not playing as good as we can.
You get away 2 late penalties. Is that 2 games now? That's Chelsea and
Chelsea and Ruben Dias penalty. Penalty against Palace was like a stupid from Foden. He didn't look up. He just went to swing and clear.
Yeah.
And I mean, just fucking got your man on the ankle. It was, yeah, it was just ridiculous. A lack of concentration. That's been a key over the last few games. They're just not as focused as they have been. They don't have as much control as they have had in the last over the last few years. Whatever it is, I mean, I've kind of been thinking about it a little bit today. They lost the like senior players, maybe Gundogan, Mahrez, the likes of De Bruyne and John Stones. Again, senior players being injured, senior players being sold. The players that have come in, I don't know, Rico Lewis, he has a lot of promise and he did get a goal at the weekend.
Mm.
But I mean, you just wonder, he was about to bring on John Stones just before the penalty was given against Palace on Saturday. Could John Stones have come on maybe 10 minutes earlier just to manage the game, you know, at an earlier stage than Pep
Why
tried to?
isn't John Stone starting? He was like one of the best players near the end of the last season for
Yeah.
you, and now it's like you actually need some
Supposedly
stability.
yeah,
injuries
he's coming
today.
back. He's coming back
It's
from injury, like, and he's not fully fit
But it's
yet.
the classic. It's the classic Pep. Like, oh, he's going to play. He's not going to play for the first few months of the season. Then he's going to be fresh for the
Yeah.
second half. Like that's it is. He does this. Like But like,
Mm.
I'm not sure. I know how often can you get? How much of a depth of squad
Yeah,
do you have to
He,
have to pull it
yeah,
off? Like,
and he is
like
playing. If you
it's
look at it, he is playing an awful lot of partner to Rodri. Candy's played in there. Stones has played in there.
yeah,
Kovacic has played in there. There's no kind of consistent two.
yeah,
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
It was they were naive. I mean, it's just like they were 2-0 up. Just had to manage the game as he have been doing for the last fucking years. And for whatever reason, it's not happening this year. I mean, 3 draws, a loss to Villa, beating Luton. I mean, look, if that hadn't been Luton, if that was another game, you don't know how it could have gone. But Luton are
yeah.
one of the whipping boys in the Premier League this season. Although, look, that could have gone against us as well. So I don't know. Like, no one player is to blame for this. I'm delighted De Bruyne is coming back. Haaland will be back next week. De Bruyne is back in the squad for this ridiculous Club World Cup that we're at for the next few days. So I mean that's brilliant. Thank God that he's back, and hopefully, like, he's not rushed back. It'll be little staggered bit by bit. But I don't know. If we're conceding a lot of goals, 3 against Tottenham, 4 against Chelsea, 2
Yeah.
against Palace, lost Aston Villa, and a horrible performance
Yeah.
against Aston Villa. So I mean, and I'm looking at the performances, and our defense seems to be quite shaky this year. For
Diaz,
like,
for me, Diaz
yeah,
has been off form. He got rolled by Mateta for I think it was the first goal for Palace, but it
yeah,
was like something that
yeah,
you wouldn't see usually
no,
happening to him. He got actually turned and Mateta outran him then like for the byline. But yeah, it's the Gvardiol thing. There's just an off balance there a bit with City at the back at the moment. I don't
yeah.
think it's working as perfect as it used to anyway.
And I don't get it because I mean, Diaz, Stones, Akanji, Walker, Gvardiol is the only addition to that back line, and that back
Mm.
line kind of, they were solid. They were extremely solid in the Champions League and the Premier League last season. Gvardiol has been added to it. Like, he hasn't brought the defense down, but there is some sort of a lack of concentration with Diaz, whatever it is.
yeah. You played four centre backs for a lot of last season,
We
didn't you?
did, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
and it worked. It was, it
yeah,
was, it was actually brilliant, and that allowed kind of like the Stones or whoever was playing right back to kind of come into midfield and join Rodri, whether it was a Kanji or Stones. But for whatever reason, it's not clicking this season. And I mean, we've Everton away Wednesday week,
Oh,
and followed by that
Newcastle,
we
Newcastle
have
away.
Newcastle away.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, two tough
And
games.
then is there another game? Do we have a game? We've
Huddersfield and
Sheffield.
FA Cup, I think. Yeah,
Sorry, I think it's
yeah.
Everton away, Sheffield United at home, then Newcastle away.
Mm.
So I'm not going to go to Everton away now and be confident of beating them the way that they're playing. They're playing brilliant.
Yeah.
So I mean, thank God, like the fact that Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal lost to Villa. Because I mean, if not, I mean, we're 5 points off top. I mean, had results gone different ways, I mean, we could be 9, 10 points off top. Dan, you were
Yeah.
saying if certain fixtures went your way, like we could be 12 points off top in a few days' time. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with City, but I mean, yeah, I know you both say like they come good in the second half of the season, but I just don't like the way that they're playing at the moment. I don't like the complacency that's slowly creeping in now. Gary Neville has said that it's on the back of winning the treble, etc. The kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
team
The
is
hunger.
the hunger is still there. But I mean, again, I get that to an extent, but I don't know. Are they lacking leadership?
But like, you have to look at the squad. Like the squad is weaker. Like
It is weaker. It is
unless
weaker.
Guardiola came in and he was like, at the same level as your left back, whoever played out Kanji or whoever it was last year. But he's done all right. Like, but you're missing your Mahrez and your
Yeah.
Gundogan, like and De Bruyne.
Gundogan, especially for whatever, like I know Mahrez was excellent, but I just think Gundogan, like he was a captain.
Yeah.
He was a leader on the
Oh,
pitch, and right now
he
we're
was like a Rodri that like
Second half of the season,
last
he's
minute would
unbelievable.
get
Yeah.
you a goal. Like yeah.
yeah,
And De
and right
Bruyne, and De Bruyne.
on De Bruyne, and right now we're lacking that, and I'm delighted that De Bruyne is kind of coming back because I mean, yeah, like we need some sort of leadership in there. We need someone that's able to kind of control the game, whether that's to kind of go on the attack or keep the ball, whatever it is. Because at the weekend, it just needed to be managed, but it
Yeah.
didn't. Like again, kind of Palace attacked us. They created chaos. So did Chelsea. So did Tottenham, and for whatever reason, we're not able to handle it. So
Yeah, I think like in De Bruyne, I think like I wouldn't be set on him like coming back straight away and being your
absolutely no,
hero like
no.
because like he's a good age now. Is he 31, 32? Is he
He's gonna be 33 in May. So I mean,
33? And
his
like
years are kind of
he's had a serious injury in his hamstring. He's
yeah,
been out for whatever 4 months. Like he's a guy who he needs that little bit of burst of pace. Like
yeah.
it can't be guaranteed that that's going to be back straight away after his injury. So it isn't like he's going to solve all City's problems. The question is it going to be like Pep's like Christmas thing? He's going to sit down with a pen and paper and he's going to find out, oh, I'm going to tweak it this way, and then all of a sudden you're fucking laughing for the rest of the season. It's more of a tweak to his system that he can do. Bringing your center back into midfield that he did last year near the end of the season. That really got you guys going, like, and got you over the line.
Yeah.
So
And they have no, they've got a nice tie, which we want in the Champions League, and also they're not in the League Cup, so they won't
Yeah.
have as many games as they would have had, say, this time in years gone by. Or I think that might help them a small bit as well. But
Yeah,
look,
but
they're still, we're talking about their squad. It's not much bigger, is it? They Ron Doku there looks really, really good in that as well.
yeah,
De Bruyne is to come back in, but I think I know he always tinkers, but it just feels like this year there's a bit more than usual going into it. Like we talked about
yeah,
Guardiola start of the season, thinking he's probably one of the best centre backs in the league. He's playing left back as well. Like it's
yeah.
things like that where you kind of just, I suppose, when things aren't going well, you question things. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see. The Christmas will tell a lot. Getting De Bruyne back, getting Haaland back as well,
Because the
obviously.
Haaland hasn't hit the heights either
No,
as last year. You know what I mean? And I'm
no. But
wondering, is that like you're playing Doku now? Doku's more of a running down the wings winger rather than like Grealish cutting in and chipping it into the
yeah,
back post. Maybe there's a that was in there. He's pottering around. Pep is pottering around a lot more this season. So maybe he's kind of nearly in between two systems of like having your target man and then having fast wingers. So I don't know. I'm
we'll
just wondering.
see.
Yeah.
Right. The rest of the results over the weekend. So Notts Forest 0, Spurs 2, Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 3, Fulham 0, Burnley 0, Everton 2. You got to admire what Everton are doing,
Yeah.
genuinely, because, and Dan, you were saying about Sean Dyche last week. They're, like, in fairness, I mean, 10 points deduction, and then just to go on the run that they're going on, and it's
I
brilliant
saw
to
the photo.
see.
Did you ever see the photo of it's like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
beer,
yeah.
with the beer.
Yeah, has Sean Dyche's face on it.
Yeah,
It's
they've
fucking
won
great.
they've won 4 of their last 5. You know what I mean? Like that's like
They're doing unreal.
it's
Yeah.
anything but relegation form.
Yeah.
And I've seen a photograph of Glenn won't mind me saying there on his social media at the weekend there. I've never really seen him looking so happy. It's just see
Yeah.
the light, there was light back in his face.
I saw it on Instagram as well, actually. He said, what did he say? Go on, I dare you, deduct us more or something like that. It was very good.
Yeah. But they're flying, like, in fairness to them, like they've really turned it around because they don't have a great squad. I know Glenn had talked about players when we had him on the podcast. Your man Braithwaite, Braithwaite, is it? He was a big fan. He's a big fan of him. Whether they'll be able to keep him come next summer will be another thing.
The core as well. The core is.
Yeah, and I think
Dwight
McNeil is a good player as well. He always was decent enough when he played for them. He's a decent player. So look, they got themselves out of trouble. You look at
Absolutely,
if they didn't have the point deduction, they'd be what, top 8, I think.
To be above Chelsea anyway, that's all I know.
Not too hard to do. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, good win fee, back on top.
Yeah.
Brentford 1, Aston Villa 2. This is a bit of a chaotic ending. I don't know if you've seen the highlights of this game.
Yeah.
But again, look, Villa, you were all kind of saying Villa's home form is finest or away form. So
I
maybe
just
to
said
start.
two clowns, fucking Martinez and Neil Maupay. Like Neil Maupay is the biggest fool going. Like if you ever watched him any games that you're playing against your team, right? He's just all rolling around. Like the two of them are like push each other, falling on the ground. Like it's soap opera stuff. Like
And he scored about like what fucking one Premier League goal in
yeah,
about 3 years. Like,
Yeah, I know.
shit houses
That
out of him.
yeah,
that Martinez, like I'd say if you're
he's
playing
gassed.
against
Yeah.
him, I'd say if he was playing against him, like just the antics
Oh
he
yeah,
gets up to,
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
hate him. But if
Oh
you're
yeah,
playing with him, you'd love having him in your team, though.
Do you know
yeah,
who's
yeah.
chipping in a good bit for them actually? Leon Bailey, isn't he? He's chipping in a good
Yeah,
Oh,
bit.
he's
he's
got
come
brilliant.
good.
He's
Hey,
He's
got
come
brilliant.
good.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, Howard Martinez came from Arsenal, didn't he?
He did, yeah. There
Mm,
was it was him or Leno, and they got rid of Martinez. That was a
mm.
daft decision, really. 20
Oh, it'd be
million.
interesting to see if he was still there. Who'd be of the three?
They
Raya.
might have kept him. I don't know. They might. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know how good he is with his feet all the time. Maybe Arteta saw him and trained, didn't think he was up to the level that he wanted. I don't know, but he seems pretty decent. He's a
He's
great
good.
shot
Yeah.
stopper.
I'd say he's a bit mad. So you just get the
Well,
feeling he's just a
well,
little bit
after giving the
daft.
World Cup Golden Glove, you can see
Yeah,
he's
you see
pretty
what
Yeah.
he done after that. Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
And then finally, West Ham 3, Wolves 0. So, I mean, top five in the Premier League: Arsenal 39, Liverpool and Villa 38, City 34, Spurs 33. So there's 6 points in it in the top five, which is, I think it's been a long time since it's been that close. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see. Like, it's class that there is an actual race on, and the fact you two are playing each other this coming weekend gives an opportunity to other teams as well. So
I
we'll
don't
can I
know.
see
just
what
The
say,
go on, Dan. Sorry.
no, I was going to say, I don't know, just to give a shout out to Lucas Paqueta at the weekend,
Yeah.
just showing again how much of a good player he is. And if, I don't know, I know there's still ongoing stuff with all the gambling stuff, but if like he is,
Top
said he were, yeah, I love him at Liverpool and that as well because he just has that creative edge. He had 3 assists, was it, there
Yeah,
yesterday?
But some of
Like,
very
his
good.
but
dribbling, yeah.
it's just his dribbling and his overall like game. He's got it all. I think it's quality. Anyway, just on him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just on that actually, Dan, that West Ham game. I don't know if you saw that Kufal's
Oh, the
elbow
elbow.
in.
It was a red.
Oh my God, that
That
was
was a
a
fucking red. It was
shocking
like that
tap.
was like JBL clothesline from hell
That was-
back in the wrestling days. Fuck. He took
Oh,
his
he
head off.
cleaned him out of it. And how did it set him off for that? That was an absolute, yeah.
Did he
Yeah,
get
Just
hard.
card
like
even? Did he get
I
booked?
don't even know what happened. All I know is he wasn't sent off.
It was a shocker. And he hit him at
Shocker.
such speed, like.
Yeah,
And your man was like on
just
the ground, like really unconscious.
panned out like.
watching a very, very quick one actually. While we're talking about bookings and cards, etc., Dallo getting sent off
Oh yeah.
for
Oh,
two
never,
acts.
never. It's a fucking
No,
joke.
it
It's
was
Mike
two
Oliver
acts.
again. He's always getting to. He did the same thing to Martinelli a few seasons ago against Wolves. 2 yellow cards in one
Two
action. It was
yellows.
just
I mean, and you have to kind of imagine in a game like you tell a ref to fuck off or whatever, you get the yellow, and
yeah.
then you keep mounting afterwards.
And it
Just
was a United ball, like
It
it was
was.
United.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It
was.
yeah.
was.
That's the thing. I mean, the refs, whether and VAR have played their part, but they've come under such criticism this season. I just think that their performances are really being under the spotlight this year as opposed to other years.
Yeah.
VAR has been at fault for that as well.
Also,
But
so idiotic tackles, though. Yeah, like see Basuma's one. Like, there's a few
Yeah.
ones where you're just like
yeah,
what is he doing? Because he knows the risk he's running there. Like,
Yeah.
Jimenez one maybe was a small bit unlucky, was it? No,
Jimenez one was a weird one. I don't know what he was trying to. He basically jumped in and
into right on
hip
it.
flexed
Yeah.
fucking one of the boys in the face, like. But it was yeah, no, the reffing isn't great. And I think you know what happens, the more dissent and the more we give out about it, the more everyone gives out about it, the more pressure is the referees feel like, we say like the likes of Mike Dean, he's a cocky prick or whatever, he's so arrogant. But I think I think you need to have a bit of that arrogance to believe in your own decision.
Yeah.
Well, if you hesitate and you're actually putting in worse performances, and maybe there's a side to that. But anyway, Mike Oliver, he
do you
should
think
be one of
do you think refs are arrogant, or do you think refs need to be
Oh,
arrogant?
I'd say most of the ones in Premier League are very arrogant. Yeah,
The
100%.
second you
Yeah,
told me that you're a referee, it just all made sense.
Yeah, Dak.
I
Yeah.
remember ref at a game years ago, and this will kind of give you an idea of the mentality. All right, three of us, ref and two linesmen. I was one of the linesmen, and then the ref came up to the two of us before the game, and he goes to us, lads, remember, there's three teams out there today. and he was considering like the ref and the two linesmen to be one of the teams as well. So I mean, if that's at fucking junior level, you can only imagine what they're like at senior, at like professional level. Right, second segment. The European draws for the European competitions were on today: Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League. So we will start. Actually, we'll kind of work backwards. So the Europa League conference, Aston Villa obviously is the kind of English interest as well. And I'm just kind of looking at the odds as well. Fiorentina, Aston Villa are favourites, by the way, 3-1.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely are. Yeah.
Fiorentina are second favourites at 6-1, and then Lille in France are 12-1 third favourites. I mean, look, it's such a chance for Villa to win European silverware.
Again, like Emery
yeah, a cup specialist basically. Yeah. I mean, he's won it. So he won it the Europa League with Sevilla, didn't he? A couple of times.
Yeah,
4 times or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to think that. I mean, if they manage their games well, and but then again, the further they go into that competition, Thursday night football having an impact on the weekend games, and look, you see where they are in Premier League. So
yeah, it just kind of it'll boil down to when you hit the kind of quarter semi-final stage. How close are they to the Champions League versus? Do you want to win? Do you want to win the conference, which gives you get you into the Europa, or do you kind of, if you have that chance, which they look like at the moment, that especially if there was 5 places anyway as well in particular, but at the moment they look like they're in the title race. Never mind the top 4 race at the moment. But,
absolutely.
You look at it, if they got to that stage of where, like, I'd love to know what the fans would like. Would they like get into the Champions League, or would they like to win the conference and maybe finish then and get the Europa spot? You know?
Yeah, but without a doubt, looking at the teams that are in this that are left, like,
massive chance.
And the way that they're playing, like, they have a huge chance. Moving on to the Europa League, so Liverpool.
Just on the
conference. Sorry, go ahead, Howard.
Like, what do you make of the Conference League? I think like any league with the name conference in it, really.
Fair point. Fair point.
Really
I would have been very like, what the fuck's the point of that? Until then, you see, I suppose, West Ham and Roma.
Yeah. Mourinho's going mental.
When you're seeing kind of what the factors to win a European trophy for clubs that have been, I suppose, in the doldrums of Europe for a long time, or are winning a trophy for that matter either, for both of them. So I can kind of see its value, but in saying that, Howard, I'd be the same as you. I probably won't watch a match until the final.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah. I never liked actually the idea that UEFA changed it to the Europa League. What was wrong with the UEFA Cup? I liked the UEFA Cup. Yeah. I don't know. That's just a simple thing. Like, it doesn't matter. But again, I agree. When you call it the Europa Conference League, it's like, all right, fair enough. It's kind of.
Should it be Europa League B? Would that have been better? No, Europa League
like the B League again, but you're downplaying it. Call it conference, you're downplaying it. You should be calling it like the Europa Championship or something like that. Give it a bit of.
I agree. Really, like, what happens if they want to make another European League after the conference? After the Conference League, what comes after conference?
Non-league.
The non-league, or something like that, or something like the Europa Conference North, the Europa Conference North, and then South. They'll keep diluting it down and down. But you've heard people call the Europa Conference the Farmers League and stuff like that, and you have to be thinking like teams that are in it just must be thinking like, fuck off, just leave us alone, let us play. But good point, Howard. I do agree with you. I think they could definitely have called it something better. The Europa League, Liverpool, West Ham, Brighton, Rangers have all qualified for the last 16. Also included in this, Bayern Leverkusen, AC Milan. Liverpool are favourites, by the way. They're favourites.
Marseille, I think they're in there somewhere.
Marseille are in there. Aubameyang is kind of having a bit of a rebirth, the three. So favourites Liverpool 5-2, and then Bayern Leverkusen are 6-1, and then AC Milan 11-1. Bayern Leverkusen, all right, they're top of the Bundesliga. 19 games. 22 games, 19 wins and 3 draws, 0 losses.
They're above home, I think.
Yeah, they're above Bayern Munich.
Do you know what the factor there, lads, is?
Xabi Alonso.
Granit Xhaka.
Has he gone there? Is he?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
He's there. No, but you're right. It's Alonso. But I just thought I'd point it out as well.
But he when he took them over, I think they were in the relegation spots in Germany, and he pulled them. Yeah, like it's been a massive turnaround since he's been there. And I do think they're the biggest challengers. Like, when I looked at it even before the group stages, though, I thought if Liverpool were to go and actually go for it, they have a great chance to win it, because when you look, like, I take Leverkusen out of it, I still don't think, even though AC Milan went to St James's Park and won, I still don't think that they're any great shakes at all. And then when you look at anything else after that, you'd fancy, you look at Brighton and West Ham, like they have as good a chance of going far than as well. I think. You look at the teams that are in it.
The problem is, it's like on paper everything looks easy, but like it's just when you go away to these crazy places and the fans are just up in your face. Liverpool, obviously they're used to from winning the Champions League now, but like the players, like all it takes is like, oh, it's Europa League. Are we bothered that much? It's away in fucking wherever, Galatasaray or wherever it is. That's where you could, like, on paper, okay, Liverpool go through every day of the week, but you never know. There could be just an implosion.
When you're in those places, you need to stoke the fire a little bit, like Graham Souness, go and plant a flag in the middle of the pitch. That was insane. But no, I think Liverpool.
I think they have a great chance, and I suppose the extra bias is that the final is in Dublin, so like
that'd be great, yeah.
And I do think the West Ham and Brighton as well. I know Brighton aren't having I think the fact that Brighton actually league campaign is kind of it's gone shit up a bit, hasn't it, for them?
Yeah.
But I do think that again they're a dangerous side, that if you got a few look at the draw.
Is it a case, can the likes of Liverpool, West Ham, Brighton meet each other in the last 16?
No, I think it's the quarter. I think it's the same as
quarters.
I think so, yeah.
It's a lot. So who's there now? So it's Liverpool, Brighton, and
Liverpool, West Ham, Brighton, Rangers. Yeah. Rangers there as well.
So that's four British teams.
Yeah, but they can't meet, I think, until the same as it'll be the last 8 before they can meet another English side in it. But like, even looking at the teams that are in, like, there's a few really good teams that finished 4th in their Champions League groups that really should have been in Europa League,
And you know what? It's good. I'm about to say that. Like, imagine you could have Newcastle and United in there.
Yeah.
You'd have United, Newcastle,
right.
West Ham,
Sevilla.
Brighton.
I know Sevilla aren't having a great
Liverpool.
season, but third one,
five English teams in the whatever, the last 16 or whatever it's going to be. That would be mental. they'd have to split it out then. Like, you imagine, no one, kind of unfair that they don't meet each other at that stage.
Of course, but all right, that's Europa League again. Liverpool heavy favourites for that one. How they judge, like you'd imagine, look, they're going to be up there in the Premier League. How they judge that and the Europa League, because they're going to go further. They're going to go far into that cup, you'd imagine. And then finally the Champions League. So Porto versus Arsenal, Copenhagen versus Man City, Napoli and Barcelona, Inter and Atletico Madrid, Eindhoven and Borussia Dortmund, Lazio and Bayern Munich, Leipzig versus Real Madrid. What did you make of the draw? Any games stand out for you?
They're all games that like there's a clear favourite in each of them. There's none of them that are like, we're knocking out one of the big lads here, because there's no big two. Who's it, PSG or playing who?
There's probably 2 50-50s. I think Atletico Inter and Arsenal.
I think that'll be a good game.
Atletico Inter, okay, yeah.
Maybe, and Napoli Barca, like they're 50-50s.
Napoli and Barca,
yeah. Napoli aren't great this year, I'd say. Barca, but I know what you mean. But like, let's say there wasn't any. I thought PSG got, I think, real sus at it. I thought they might have got one of the bigger.
But when you're looking at those, moving on past what games you think, but when you actually looked at the draw and then seen on paper the last 16 teams that are in it, you're looking at it going, look me, Arsenal and City, again, like the English teams look like they have a very good chance. They're after getting good draws there. You're into the last 8.
Yeah.
And
it is like, the favourites are City, then Arsenal, then Real, then Bayern. Yeah,
Arsenal are more favourites. Oh, geez, that's mad. I would have put Real.
No, sorry, no. Saying that, like, there are different bookies are giving different odds. So, like, some people
these are the odds you're giving, Deck, is it?
Yeah,
these are the odds these are the odds that I saw today.
Oh, the slime ball. Do you know what though? I suppose I don't know if you know the crack with Madrid. So they have they got another ACL injury there at the weekend. So. So Alba, Militao, and Courtois all under ACL, so they're all fucked. So they only have 2 centre backs that are fully fit now at the moment, and then Vinicius Junior has a hamstring problem; he's out, and then Camavinga and Tutumeni both have injuries, and they're out at the moment as well. Not too back. So the talk is they're going to have to go in for a centre back in January, because I think it's a Rudiger and is it Fernandez or something?
Well,
yeah. Very nice one, wouldn't it? Yeah,
You'd love it.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. Like would have thought that Madrid would have been again would have given them a chance. But for me, when I looked at it, I think Munich are the only side outside it for me anyway, outside of Arsenal or the City, which would be a really good tie if the two of them got each other over two legs would be cracking.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Munich are in a lot better place than they were last year under Thomas Tuchel. And that guy that they got in, that centre back, him that's playing with
Oh
Upamecano, I think
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
from Napoli. Yeah.
yeah, I think he's a solid centre back, and they got Harry Kane, who's already got 24 goals. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
that they would be the ones for me if it wasn't an English team. I'd be with all the injuries Madrid have. Munich for me, I think.
Maybe going for Bayern. All right, no, Dan, you've named your winner. So out of those sides, give me your dark horse.
Not including them.
Not including those four. Who would be your dark horse? Like,
Horse. Jesus.
they may get to the last four, for example. Like,
Yeah.
Copenhagen, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who else is in there?
I know. Have a think about it.
Atletico. I'm kind of thinking
Let it
maybe
go.
the winner of the Atletico Inter game, maybe because Inter got to the semis last year.
Inter and AC, yeah.
And Inter are going all right, I think, in Italy. So I
Yeah,
go
they're
for Inter.
top of the league. Yeah, I was looking at Serie A. Inter are top of the league.
Yeah.
Was it Inter, Juventus, AC, and
Roma? I think, no.
Roma. I don't think it's Roma. I think Keelan's pissed off. Roma are struggling. Something like that. Can't remember. No, but Roma aren't doing too well. Fiorentina are in fifth. I can't remember who's in fourth.
Was it Atlanta? No. It was. Who else is there?
Could be. It might be Atlanta.
Are in Italy there.
Might be Atlanta.
Lazio.
Lazio. Yeah.
It could be right. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Lazio have kind of come back
in the last 16.
They're Munich. Yeah, they're Munich. Anyway, I think it'd be Munich. I think. Inter Milan maybe, but I think that outside of it, I think it'd be an English. I think it should be an English winner looking at what's left, but Munich could be the danger anyway. Yeah.
Howard, who do you think is going to win it? At this day, obviously anything can happen, but
if I was to put my house on it now, I would
Arsenal.
say no. I actually wouldn't say Arsenal. I would say Bayern Munich maybe if I was to put my house on it. Or Madrid. I maybe lean nearly towards Madrid. The Bellingham. Every time I'm on fucking Twitter, Bellingham is scoring another fucking worldie. He's scoring every game. Like he's insane.
Outrageous.
So look, I would if it was a gun to the head decision, I would say Madrid actually, or not Munich, Madrid.
Okay. And dark horse.
I'd say Arsenal, dark horse.
Really?
No. Look, can I just discuss Arsenal's chances? I think maybe I think Arteta, like we've never won a Champions League as it's been named the Champions League. So
which is a crime shame considering some of the teams you had though.
It's insane. The Invincibles of that always they had like a mental block when it came to the Champions League. So like it is Arteta hasn't really pulled up trees when it's come to the Europa League when we've been in it now. Whether that has come down to the team or everything, like we have a great team, a great squad, and all that, but. I'm not sure if they're there yet, unless they go on a run. Right? Sometimes they just turn it on in the knockout stages and they go on a run and they just are in play very well. Like I think Saka's very young, Martinelli's very young. The team is quite young for the experience of Champions League. It's Saka's first season in Champions League, so it's a different breed of competition to what they're used to. So I'm as much as they have the talent and that was in it should be one or two English teams. I think if they get to the final, I would not be shocked if Arsenal got knocked out by a poor team.
I reckon, yeah.
When you look at
it, like all them other teams that are in Europe, though, like I think Kane is the improvement from Munich. When you look at all the rest of them, they're all regressing. Where I think Arsenal are getting stronger. That's my whole kind of theory on it. Is when you look at all the rest of them teams in Europe, there's none of them, even with Madrid with all the injuries. There's none of them that Madrid aren't in a better place this year. Like they lost Benzema. For me, they're not in a better place this year than they were last year squad wise. I don't think so.
Did you say they were regressing?
Yeah, I think that they're none of them teams are as good as they were last year.
I thought you said they were all rejects or something like that.
I think Arsenal. I think that
maybe look.
You need one or two decent draws. Like you would want to be. You kind of feel.
Yeah, I guess. Look, I have the confidence of when we had a team and we're getting hammered by Barca and hammered by Munich every fucking year, every time we got out of group stages. So I suppose I'm a bit scared from that whole situation. And obviously we're a new team now, but it's just I suppose that kind of as a fan, like that kind of that goes on in the background. And the fact that we've never won a Champions League kind of it's hard to really like, oh, we
Does
believe
does
we can do it
football
this year.
scar you,
Yeah,
Howard?
yeah.
Yes, it definitely scares me. Oh,
It
100%.
does,
Jesus.
definitely. Hey, Dan, does football scar you?
No, I'm quick enough to kind of move on. I like even like the United result yesterday. It was yesterday evening. I was in a dark place.
You you have a
You're there.
you have a voodoo doll of Ten Hag in your room, I guarantee you,
But
poking him with a stick.
no, I'm quick enough to kind of. It's yeah, no, it doesn't linger with me for too long. I have
There's
other friends though
certain
that I
things,
would still
certain
be talking
things
about it
like
for weeks.
like the Gerrard slip and stuff like that. I'm sure there's certain things like when you think about it, just like, oh God, I don't even want to think about that anymore. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
suppose that one that's probably that would be one of the few probably ones that were like again because it was just
Do you know actually a good one?
yeah that one probably would be actually a standard
Now
one.
that we're on the Champions League, that goal, it was Arsenal Liverpool, and the goal from Walcott. Remember, he ran the pitch,
Yes,
and then he
yeah,
and it was like, the 80th minute ran the pitch, pass over that was a tap in, and then Arsenal were going through and aggregate, and literally like 30 seconds later, Torre literally clips some lad's heels in the corner of the box like in a penalty, and I'm just like, it's one of them things like you go from such high to
yeah,
such low. And like it's one of the things that, like as I said, scares you because it's just like, why, like, it's one of them things I think back on, like I don't even want to see a replay of that like ever again. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
The
don't
biggest
want to
thing
see
that
it.
the biggest thing that upsets me watching football now is actually VAR because there's so many times when your team had scored a goal and
Yeah,
like
you can't celebrate
it
it. Yeah.
hasn't happened yet where I whipped off the t-shirt and I bet the chest and then turn around just going to the fucking bar screen and it was disallowed. It hasn't
Yeah,
happened
no,
yet,
I know,
but it will happen. It will happen at some point.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. All right, so my own favorites. Looking at the draw, looking at the teams that are left. Yeah, I'm in the same kind of I'm in the same kind of mindset as yours. City, Arsenal, Real, or Bayern. Um, I think City could take Bayern right now. Kane, as I said, Dan is kind of the main improvement
I think
there,
it'll be
but it's
closer. I think it'll be closer though than it was last year. You bet them comfortably, didn't you, last year?
Mm,
yeah, and
yeah.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, I didn't know about those injuries. So I mean that's definitely going to play a factor. But yeah, I'd be confident. I mean, that City and Arsenal, they're both getting through to the quarters. Bayern are, Real are. Yeah, so I mean, you never know. It depends. Look, it depends on the draw. Real could get Bayern in the
What
quarterfinals.
about
We could get Arsenal. So I mean,
yeah? What about Barcelona? No one's we haven't mentioned that
they're
at all.
my dark horses.
All right.
They're in third in the Liga. I mean, I was looking at their team today,
See
and
what Girona done to them the other night. They're
yeah,
fucking
Girona,
annihilated them.
Girona are in second, like, and they're part of the City football
Aston.
group.
Are
Yeah,
they?
So
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Ah,
So
no
you'd
wonder. How
wonder,
many
no, yeah.
charges for
Yeah.
these boys now, folks?
How many
No, but
refs are they paying?
no, but like think about it. Remember that vote there a couple of weeks back where teams the Premier League
Oh
wanted to bring
yeah,
in
yeah.
where you couldn't loan players between clubs and
Yeah.
this is the exact same as Newcastle and that
Saudi
team in
Arabia,
Saudi
yeah.
Arabia,
Mm.
City and Girona. It's the exact same situation, just different leagues. But I mean, Girona are flying it.
But do you mean
Absolutely
like they
flying
could
it.
go to Girona and will get a loan of their best player?
That's because they're owned by the same
No, I know what
team.
you mean, but like, sure, like, will there be backlash from the fans? Like, you're in second place, you loan one of your best players to Man City, even though like it doesn't make sense if you didn't weren't owners, if you didn't wasn't part ownership or whatever, it doesn't make sense to do that because you're doing so well. Surely there would be some backlash then
Oh, there would be, yeah,
from
but
fans, be like, what the fuck are they doing? Why are they bothering
no.
this? Like, you know what I mean?
I can't see that happening, but what has happened over the last few years is that City have sent a lot of players on loan to Girona.
Yeah.
And actually, as well, like Guardiola's brother is the director of football at Girona.
The plot
Okay.
thickens.
No,
It's
genuine. Like, I
all
mean, like,
interwoven.
Howard, you go and infiltrate there and get us a bit more information for next week.
yeah.
Go to
Howard,
Girona.
go into the web and find out info. You're pretty good at this. So,
Well, I'm going to Girona next year, so I'll tap into that.
oh, that where the
I'm
wedding
actually
is.
flying into Girona, yeah. So
Very good. All right, we'll move on. So, weekend preview. Um, main one next weekend, obviously, is Liverpool versus Arsenal on Saturday evening, five
Oh,
thirty.
damn, Howard.
This is also our game for our Christmas competition. So we'll go into that in a little bit. But Liverpool versus Arsenal. I'm going to get your opinion. At what way do you think it's going? Liverpool, are they gonna improve based on last weekend's
they have to. I
performance?
think they
They
have to
have
improve.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Are Arsenal going to finally kind of put a stamp of authority on the league and this is their year. Howard, what do you think?
Um, I think Arsenal will perform better than they did last season at Anfield. That's what I'm hoping for. I think we'll have more control of the game than we did last year. I think Arsenal this year have been very big on control and possession and winning the ball back very quickly in comparison to last year. Now, if we're able to take our chances, I think that's a different story. I think if we want to get something at Anfield, we have to be clinical in our chances, and if we're not, I could easily see Liverpool. Like, I don't think Liverpool are going to dominate the game like they did. I remember last year it was like second half they just completely Arsenal couldn't get out of their box. Like, I don't think that's going to happen
After
again.
jacket, remember the jacket
The
on
jacket
Trent,
thing, yeah,
and
everyone
Nixon,
was,
it just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, it changed.
it
Yeah,
changed,
yeah.
yeah,
Because you
yeah,
were unbelievable in that opening, what, was it 25 minutes? You were
yeah, and I
like,
don't even know if it was us being unbelievable. I just think Liverpool have this thing, like it's like, and they didn't do it at the weekend, which I was shocked at. Like, it's just like the crowd get so up for it, and they
yeah.
just get this wave of energy, or just go running around the pitch like mad things, and they end up, the press and the high press is just insane. The rock and roll football or whatever, like they do this, and they do this against the big teams. That's why I was surprised they didn't do it
Mm,
against United there. So if they turn that on, it's a hard to overcome that wave. But hopefully Arsenal can keep more control of the game and not let, like, quieten the crowd, not letting that wave come about, I guess. But I'd
Okay,
like,
so
yeah.
if you had to predict,
I would predict 1-1.
all
That's
right,
what I predict.
Dan, over to you. What do you need to do better?
oh, we definitely. I think the game will suit us better from the point of view of that Arsenal will come and play. That will give them more chances because I think
Mm.
you can get us, especially at the left and right side, like
Yeah.
Martinelli and tackle, like they can get at us. But I do think I think we will play better. Would be concerned though, like Gravenberch went off
Yeah.
with injury. Sabazlai, I think he's been hasn't been great now in the last few games, and he's been substituted quite a bit. There's talk of that he needs a rest, and then you're looking at that we play West Ham during the week
In the
in the
Carabao,
cup,
that's right,
yeah,
yeah.
the cup, and like how many changes can you make to the side because you're still Matip obviously got injured out for a while. So there is injuries there, so the squad isn't there isn't as many options as there was. So he's probably going to have to go strong, you would imagine, at home.
So
So
midfield, if the midfield three, who would you have in there?
well, I think McAllister is still out. I'm not sure when he's back, and then if
Yeah.
Gravenberch is out, so you're looking at it that it's probably going to be Sabasa. He'd probably have to keep playing Endo, probably in that
No.
sixth role, and then he's either going to play Jones or Elliott.
Yeah.
You'd imagine on form basis it should be Elliott, but it's probably one of them two,
It's
unless he
quite light
decides to.
though, isn't it? It's like what Endo,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Endo, Szoboszlai,
It is.
and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and Elliot. Like they're like you're up against Declan Rice and Odegaard and whoever else.
yeah.
Kai
You,
Havertz.
you,
Kai Havertz a
you,
big lad as well. Like
yeah.
just on Declan Rice. Like, I don't know if we said that much about him on the pod. He's been unbelievable for Arsenal. Like, just seeing him week in, week out. He's
Kind of,
been,
yeah. He's kind of quietly going under the radar and just
yeah, he's
doing,
just insane. Like, just the ability he has, like, of winning the ball back up high, and like
Yeah.
literally the power he has to get past players. Like, he dropped the shoulder there against Fabio Gross there at the weekend and just gone past him. Like, he's brilliant. Like, and he's an 8, 9 out of 10 every game. Like, so yeah. So look, I think that, like, if
Midfield
there's
is the midfield
midfield is
is the
key.
key.
Like,
Yeah, it
yeah,
is key. And I know like it's an easy thing to say, but when you look at what where depending on whether or not McAllister will be like he might be, I think. I'm not sure what the story is there, but when you look at
mm.
the midfield options to us, the only thing I will say is like the last time Arsenal won in the Premier League, do you know what it was, Howard? At Anfield.
Oh, what was that?
2012. So like so when you
I
look
actually
at it like
remember that game. Pepe Reina was in goal. I think it was
yeah,
Santi
you
de
had you
Cazorla
had
scored.
Diaby, I think. Diaby scored, no?
Yeah, I think Santi Cazorla scored at the near
Yeah.
post from memory with like left peg or something. But yeah, look, exactly. We don't have,
Oh,
the look.
there is that. It's not like, and again, look, what type of Arsenal side? It depends on that mentality of Arsenal as well when they come
Yeah.
and you know,
The problem
uh,
we have, the weak spot for us is the left back. Like, if we had Tomiyasu fit, which we don't, he'd be playing left back instead of Zinchenko,
you
100%.
can imagine Salah versus Zinchenko. I mean, there's
Yeah,
only one winner there.
only one
yeah,
winner
but
there,
he needs
exactly.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but in the last few games against left backs, he's been nearly annihilated by a lot of them. He hasn't had much change out of a good few of them anyway. So you'd imagine like again he's playing nearly every game. I'd imagine he'd play midweek as well. But he has a good record, I think, against Arsenal as well.
Sorry, yeah. So let's just
Yeah.
the midweek game is on Wednesday, is it?
Wednesday.
No,
Yeah,
sorry, you're, the midweek
Wednesday.
Carabao Cup is
Yeah,
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday, yeah.
So Wednesday and then Sunday, is it? So that's the
Saturday
Saturday.
kickoff.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, so it's 23rd, of course. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
it depends how strong you go now on Wednesday.
Yeah, but you'd imagine, given that City are out of it,
Yeah.
like when you look at who's left in the Carabao Cup,
Yeah,
you'd imagine that
to go strong,
we'll go strong. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
which is good for Arsenal. Like, I'm just getting at the
Yeah,
the
that's
legs.
what I'm kind of saying myself, because there was
Mm.
an argument there of a few of the players that have been subbed quite a bit recently, that maybe there is kind of tiredness in some of them. But look,
I think it's
anyway,
If
good
that,
time. I think it's good time to play Liverpool at the moment. Like just after I don't think they've been. I can't remember the game like in the last five games that they've actually lit it up. Like you know what I mean. I think it might be a good chance to.
I think it might
Um,
be a bad time to play them. I think they're
you
going to
reckon?
go and
can
absolutely.
he keep that? Just clip that little piece there for when for our next episode.
Well,
Will
I
you?
think I
Yeah,
just think well if you like you'd agree though Dan
Yeah,
you have a better midfield three than what's been put out now like you know you could be playing like you could be have the same amount of rest as Arsenal have going into the game. There's a few things that are seem to be going in Arsenal's favour for the game now. That doesn't mean that they don't light it up in Anfield like you know Liverpool like but it was surprised that they didn't do it against United. That kind of surprised me a bit like
Mm.
all
you
right,
know.
Howard, you've gone 1-1. Dan, what's your prediction for it?
I go 3-1 Liverpool.
Good lad, man.
But I just look at it, like the aggregate score in the last 7 outings is 24-6.
I hear that.
Okay.
We're not going to play this aggregate thing. It was 36-2 with the fucking United game last time, and it ended up 0-0. Like, you're only cursing it. You're only cursing your own
You're gonna
team
get
here.
you're going to get bent over and slapped around. Howard. I
Okay.
know.
Yeah, we might take that bet out.
Yeah, it'll be a good game though. I think, because
It'll be a great game.
it
Let's
won't
I
be
do
much
it.
better than the game yesterday, but in general, usually the Liverpool Arsenal games are very good watches. As we said there, Liverpool don't need to turn up as the Liverpool that are electric, that hit the
Yeah.
ground running and are
Like
creating chances.
it is funny you say that. Like you know, there's not going to be a low block. Like and you know, it's good for thing. But like Arsenal have been playing, like they'd love not to play against low block. Like they've played, I think, two teams in the
Yeah,
Champions League in it
yeah.
that didn't play a low block, and it was like 4-0 in each game to Arsenal. So like
Mm.
there is, you know, there is a
Oh,
benefit for both teams, I guess. You
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. I'd be concerned for when we're bombing forward, same like
Yeah.
Gas and Kent. And then you've got like Martinelli and Saka, two of the best wingers in the league.
Running at them,
Probably,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think I'm
Interesting.
actually going to be watching this match with Howard on Saturday, if I'm right.
Yep. Yeah.
So I
100%.
will take a video. Should Liverpool score or should Liverpool score and use it as evidence
Oh
going
God.
forward? Just actually, I was looking up the matches and different matches are coming out. There's football literally on every evening from next.
Class, yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. But here's a little story for you, okay? I know you're the big game Saturday evening, Liverpool and Arsenal. It's one of the biggest games of the season. But on Friday night, Aston Villa are at home to Sheffield United. You'd imagine Aston Villa are going to win that game. You'd imagine. Barring an implosion. With that win, they will go top of the league. Okay, they will go on to 41 points if I'm correct. If Liverpool and Arsenal draw, which is I think it's going to be a draw. Liverpool will be Arsenal will be second, Liverpool will be third, Villa will be top on the Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Aston Villa will be top of the Premier League. Okay, and of the 10 of the last 14 seasons, the team at the top of Christmas have gone on to win the Premier League. So, like, it's not a bad omen for Aston Villa to have. So, I mean, I know we're saying that it's unlikely, but I mean, they're there right now. They're playing well. We do think they're going to go far in the Conference League. The last time Aston Villa were top of the league going into Christmas was 98-99. And who won it that year? Man United. And that's not going to happen this year. Thank God we know that. But I mean, Villa could be top of the Premier League on Christmas Day. And I mean, I know some teams have like a early season kind of bounce, but then they start to fall away in October, November. Villa have kind of done the exact opposite. They had an okay start, and then they've slowly started to build.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, look, there's a very high possibility that they're going to be top on for Christmas. Yeah. City are struggling. Liverpool are not.
No, yeah. Don't you love to see though? You'd love to see like the ambition. So to get to Christmas, say they are top, even where they are now though. if they actually aren't bad off financially, wouldn't you love to just see like,
Well,
oh, and be like, right, we're going to give this a stab here now and go and sign 2 or 3 big players in January and just fucking have a crack at it, wouldn't you know?
absolutely,
They do
definitely.
have a few pound league fellas, so it's now the realms. But like that, all it takes for them for me is if Watkins gets injured, if one or two of them
Yeah.
key players, the backup players for them are a few levels down of what they have, you know, so they are going to be, especially the Christmas
They
period.
got off the hook at the weekend as well. I don't know if you've seen the game. Like,
They
Did
did,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you,
indeed,
you
yeah,
do need luck though, absolutely.
you need
yeah,
luck, but
Um,
I don't know if like if it was this time last year, it was Newcastle going to top.
yeah,
I'd be more worried. I don't know. I just don't. The Villa team is good. I think they're slightly overperforming. In fairness to Emery, I think he has them. I think second in the whole of 2023
yeah,
out of
yeah,
all the Premier.
yeah.
Like so, he's been consistent. I just don't think they have that away form. That I don't think that they have the
Not
players for.
fair enough, but I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah, I know.
if February, March comes along and they're
March that.
still up
Yeah.
there, absolutely. Um, right. So that was the weekend preview. We will see. We'll see what happens. Liverpool and Arsenal, I'm hoping for a draw. City, because we're in this shit World Cup thing tomorrow against, I can't even pronounce their name, some team from
Oh,
Asia.
it starts tomorrow, does it? Right. I didn't even
That's
know.
on
Yeah.
tomorrow at
Yeah,
six
yeah,
in the
yeah.
evening, and then the final will be on Friday or Saturday, I think. And then our game against Brentford is postponed on Saturday because of this.
It's a bit
And
annoying,
then
isn't it? Like over
that's
Christmas as well,
ridiculous.
when we're looking forward to a bit of
Ridiculous.
festivities and the games and that, and then your team are out playing this stupid
Do you
competition.
play? Do you play in on Steam today? No.
No.
Like, so when's
Sorry,
your?
we're playing the 27th away to
Oh yeah,
Everton.
so you're back.
We're
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're
we're
back.
missing a game this
You're only missing
coming
one game.
weekend. We're missing a home to Brentford this
Mm.
weekend. But I mean, yeah, I mean this Club World Cup, and then it's going to happen this year in 24, and then from the 25 season onwards, this kind of
Mm.
December Club World Cup thing is gone, and it's going into a summer tournament featuring 32 league teams. So I mean,
Money.
it's great. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Like, the season will end. So the first FIFA Club World Cup is going to be taking place in the United States in the summer of 25. And then from then on, it's every 4 years. So 25, 29, etc. So yeah, ridiculous, but it is. It's all about money. Um, okay, we'll move on. Fantasy football. Dan, update us. How did the weekend go for everyone?
What do you want to know?
I want to know how badly Howard is doing.
Oh god.
Are you having a bit of a
Well,
redemption?
I am 14th at the moment. I have made ground at green arrows for me and Howard, so we've gone up a couple of positions. Howard is 15th. He,
Oh, see that now. Progression
yeah,
of
he is.
two positions for
Yeah, so
me.
we're both moving. We've green arrows beside our name, but yeah, look, it was if Salah had a done a bit of damage, or if any of the Liverpool players that I had on my team, it would have been a good week, and it would have been a very bad week for Howard because he actually doesn't have any Liverpool. He have any Liverpool, only Simicast, you know,
Shimikas, yeah.
no Salah though.
No.
Nearly everybody had Salah captain at the weekend. The majority of people did because Haaland was people kind of knew he wouldn't play. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're looking at the table there now. There was a couple of had a good week actually. Owen Carberry had a big week. Let me see, can I find him here now? He's down the table here, rotten somewhere. Hang on, let me find him. 21st, 29, gentleman's 21st place. So Bobby Paws. Now he took a minus 12 points, but he did finish on 78 for the
So
week,
what's
which was
that? Yeah, that's a
he could
60. Yeah.
yeah, Kudus is captain. Yeah, he actually finished 60 odd,
66.
same as yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 66,
And
yeah.
Baldy's best there as well. Shane Durkin is after he's creeping up every week now these days. He is Livermento, Palmer, Solanke actually as well.
Palmer is
Not
a good
sure,
one, isn't it?
not sure
Palmer
what's
is doing
gonna.
good.
Yeah, I Palmer as well, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Solanke with that one because the suppose we never touched on it, which we probably should have, which was the Bournemouth Luton um,
Yeah, game.
a
Got
game
postponed.
Oh yeah, of course.
and I don't even think we've mentioned at the score of that game actually when we're doing the score. So like that was horrendous what occurred, and it was very similar to the Ericsson
Yeah,
kind of scenario. And thankfully he's okay as well. But like it was just crazy, and you just think with all of the health related the expertise that they have that someone can
yeah,
still go out on the pitch and for that to occur. So thankfully he's okay. And just in relation to the game, like I don't know what. Apparently the rules are, I think, that they usually they start at 0 and they go again. Because I was looking at it going, I thought Bournemouth and Luton would definitely take a point each, just leave
yeah,
it
yeah,
as
absolutely.
I
and
think
take a
it's a
point each. But
replay, I think.
replay, I think, at nil
Good
nil,
replay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so that is, let me see where else now. So Andrew Curley is still leading the way, but it's got fierce tight at the top. Claire and Paul Breslin are second and third there, and the first three have now hit the 1,000 mark. So Andrew Curley is on 1,020, Claire Breslin's on 1,002, and Paul Breslin's on 1,000. So as things stand there at the moment.
It's all
So
tight. What are we on total wise then?
I'm on 949. I think I'll be McTominay will come into me there, so I'll be at 952. You're at 930, so you're about 70 off it, and I'm about you're 90 off. What's that? 90 off top, and I'm 70 off top.
The dream is dying, Howard, is it?
I was just thinking that there myself. It's kind of slowly slipping away. Like, I had to make up 90 points like in the second half of the season. Like, it really.
All right, so our kind of hopes are resting on Dan's shoulders there.
Well, 70 points top. I'd say we'll see now after we play the wild card. The thing is, everyone has the same teams. Then it's harder when you have.
It's like kind of what you kind of like again. It's when Haaland wasn't. I seen there was a couple of people went for Son as captain. They got nailed there. Like, in fairness,
I bought Son in, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, because in fairness, it was kind of, Salah, maybe Liverpool United. He thought United were going to sit there, and it might be difficult for Liverpool. Liverpool haven't been playing well. Like, there was a few captains, Saka and a few captains, Salah. They were the other kind of.
You broke up there, Dan?
You got me? Yeah.
Now you're back. Can you hear us? I'll clip that up.
All right. Like, most people have kind of got Palmer. There's a few lads like Gordon. A lot of people have Son. But like, once you hit the wild card, you can't have them all. Like, so it's the differential ones. It's them kind of say kudos at the weekend, or a few of them lads that are kind of not that many have. They make a difference. You
need if you had Son, Salah, Saka, and Haaland, you're kind of
like I put Trenton. See, I have him there now. Like, he's 8 million. So you're like looking at going, I've Salah, I've Trent. The one that I'm going to have to take out though is I can't watch Nunes any longer. I've kept with him going. He's definitely gonna chip in. He's gonna.
You have on your team.
And I've had him for weeks, and it's so painful, especially when he's fucking hashing at chances, and then he's constantly offside as well. So anyway, I'm just going to do myself a favour. I'll cheer him on and hope that he does score.
You see him running for the ball there at the weekend. The ball was like, it hadn't gone out of play. It was the time it was a Diaz got flattered by the keeper. Like, he could have kept the ball in.
Honest to God,
Yeah, but so he'd be the big change for me. And then like, you've got lads that are consistent. He's chipping in with points. Like Watkins is nearly every week he's chipping in with something. I went with a bit of the Chelsea experiment though, because I put Sterling and Palmer in. So
back in.
I do.
Sterling back in.
Sterling's back in, and Palmer.
You're not learning your lessons, Dan.
It's called the Chelsea experiment 2.0.
2.0.
But I must do actually. Andrew Curley's been leading now for a few weeks. So I must send him a message and get a quote from him. Just kind of, what's he doing? How's he kind of doing it? Just kind of give some advice to the rest of the.
And it must be nice though, as you're sitting munching your Christmas turkey on Christmas Day, knowing that if you end up being top. So it'd be nice to get a quote from whoever's top on Christmas Day, to get a quote for them as well as they're turking into their turkey.
Absolutely, yeah. And just a reminder, the winner of the Fantasy Football League will get a club jersey of their choice.
And just on the competitions, we just didn't mention our other one. Have we any spots left? Are we full?
Christmas competition, Howard, you said you had 2 to fill in.
I have 2 to fill in, yet to be done.
Therefore, we have 2 spaces left. They're not the most attractive of numbers, but look, if you're not in, you definitely won't win. Thank you very much.
It's good that we didn't pick, because remember we were looking at doing the Liverpool United game.
Honest to God, that's right. Jesus Christ. What would you do? You just give it to whoever picked number one.
Roll over to the next game.
There's 2 places left, so I'm sure we'll have that filled by next weekend. Again, minute of the first goal, minute of the first yellow card, a €50 one-fall gift voucher goes to both. Thank you very much to everyone who has entered the competition. Also, thank you very much to everyone who watched or listened to our last episode. We broke the 2,000 viewer mark last week for the first time ever. So that was a pretty big deal for us. So we really appreciate the support the podcast is getting, whether you're watching or there you go, Dan. Whether you're watching or whether you're listening, we really appreciate both. So please do continue. We have 1 episode left for this year, which will take place Christmas Eve, and then we'll be taking a break for 1 week and be back to you in the new year. Monksland United at the weekend. I'll start with the B team. They haven't had a game for a couple of weeks.
Oh, this is
No,
exciting.
they had a game.
Oh,
They did have a game.
It didn't go well, did it?
No, it didn't go well at all. I
they're
think they
lacking
were,
match practice. Obviously, that game's so long. Like,
yeah, they were lacking
Yeah.
match practice.
So,
but
like, what do you
kinda-
do when all them games were cancelled? They went straight to the pub, the fuckers.
Of course, absolutely. But part of me thinks that they might have liked this game to have been cancelled as well. They Mullingar 5, Monksland 1.
Oh,
So yeah, nasty loss. But look, I'd say they would like to get a game, so it is what it is. Top of the table clash, Clara in the senior division against Monksland, 1-1. Clara went up. I don't know if you've seen the goal. It's on the stories of the Football Fanatic podcast on Instagram. Have a look at the goal. Clara got
don't follow that page.
You probably should, given you're on the podcast. But anyways, what do you call it? Have a look at the goal. Clara's goal was an absolute worldie. Monksland equalised in the 92nd minute. So again, very, very tight at the top of the table. And best of luck to them. They're finished for the Christmas. Best of luck to them in the second half of the season. So, men, that concludes us. Episode 19. It's kind of cool. We're going to end on episode 20 for the year. So 20 episodes in. It's going brilliant. And thank you to all who are watching and listening. Kieran will be joining us on Christmas Eve. So we look forward to seeing him and hearing what he has to say. Pure shite, no doubt, but we will look forward to it.
It was interesting it was interesting that he wasn't done with us and we got our highest viewership, just saying.
That's a very good point. Also, yeah, that's must say that too. Didn't even think about that. Anything else to add, man?
No, best of luck, Howard. Best of luck.
Oh yeah, you won't be talking now before the weekend. So best of luck in the
oh,
game,
in the
Howard.
game.
You see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah,
His eyes. I thought he was going in for an operation or something there.
Best of luck, Dan. Best of luck. Actually, one other thing that just jumped out was I don't know if you ever saw the smallest shin pad ever there at the weekend. No,
go on.
So in the Arsenal game, one of the Hasselwood or whatever his name is came on, and he lost his shin pad. And I'm telling you, lads, this shin pad was like the size of a fucking Pringle, sour cream Pringle. I swear to God, tiny. The referee got to him, gave it to him. It was like a little card that he was giving to him. Like the shin pads the boys are wearing now, they don't fucking give a shite. But anyway,
that is the first time there has ever been any other business where we discussed the shin pads.
Definitely, and Pringles.
Comparing a sour cream Pringle to a shin pad. I think we definitely should leave it there.
Yes.
Howard needs to sleep.
I need to go to bed.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next weekend. Have a good week.
Right. Cheers,
Zach. See you, folks.
Good luck. Goodbye.